Got it. Yeah.
We're live.
We are not yet. I haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got a message saying we're live.
Yeah. We got a message to say we are online. Yep. Hey, hello everyone. Welcome to Astro Night Live. I'm Rod Chang.
I am Alejo Lopez. Welcome everyone.
Yeah. So Astro Night Live is a sort of extended version for our 10 minutes astrology. The 10 minutes astrology is our new project. Try to help beginner astrologer to learn astrology step by step. And so far, I think this we already carried on for nearly kind of 2 months, I think.
Yeah, this is the second extended version.
Yes, so the second one. So we are kind of for last 2 months we learned what is sun, what is moon, what is ascendant, and we also learned the element, and then we are just step into a quality modality, cardinal, fixed, and next week we were talking about mutable in our 10 minutes astrology. So I think it's kind of quite exciting for me, because it's like you leading, step by step, and then to learn apart from sun sign, because everybody know about sun sign, but a little bit least people know about the ascendant or moon sign. But with people thinking they know sun sign, moon sign, or 12 sign, and then they already become astro guru. I mean, from we all like that. We all been there. To be honest, it's not mocking. We all been there.
Yeah, it's the syndrome when you learn a little bit of something and it's so revealing. It's so powerful that you want to apply it every day, and suddenly you feel like you've discovered the key to the world. So you want to prove everyone that you've seen it.
Yes. Especially especially recently, I watched a TV series. I just talked to you on the Netflix that an astrological guide to broken heart. It's quite interesting, because a few things kind of hit me, because the background of that TV series was based on a TV production company. And before I become astrologer, I was working exactly on the TV production company as a assistant producer. So whole tempo, everything, I was kind of, yes, I can feel that. Another thing is become, when you talk about astrology on TV, or even today, if you want to talk about astrology on YouTube, people tend to simplify it. Yeah, but I think that's if you want things get more popular, you have make it simple and easy. They can digest it, they can swallow it. So that's a huge difference between professional astrologer and when you want to go to TV and your audience is like everyone who watch TV, then that is so different. Well, okay, so today we will make it so different, because we are looking for whole chart, although we don't know what exact mean Venus, Mercury, Mars, Pluto, or Chiron, or High Chia, or Ceres, or Juno, whatever. No, I'm joking. Alejo is like, really, you want to
You're going to bring all of them. Oh my God.
Yeah. I'm like, oh my God. I'm joking, yes.
I don't know what they are either.
Okay. We need some specialists when we come to learn those asteroids. If we go in there, we should have a special episode to invite our friend who specializes on those things and teach token about them. That would be really fun. But today, because although we don't know most part of the chart, those planets, but we already know each sign, their element and modality. Do you know these already? If you know how to read those symbols and knowing which side they are, and put them into the right element, you are already you can do the first step, analyze. And trust me, I don't know, Alejo, your experience. With that analyze, you can freak people out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so today we are going to talk about element balance, right?
Yes, let's.
Yeah, okay. So Alejo, I think I probably will need you to load the thingy.
Okay.
Okay, yes.
All right, so let me do it.
Yeah, please.
Share screen. Astro NIght Live, this is us. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about the element balance, like Rod said. We know we have 4 elements. So we have air, earth. I need to emphasize the th at the end because with my accent, sometimes it's not clear.
Don't worry, I think, well, even to be honest, I was kind of have kind of a feel like, I have my English has accent or something. To be honest, when I live in UK, I listen Welsh people speaking, Scottish people speaking, or Irish people. They all have accents. So you know what? That's our character. That's our character. That's your character.
Yes.
So just enjoy it, play with it.
Yes. Then we have fire, and then we have water. So we have the 4 elements, and we've discussed what they are, right? Already in the podcast. If you haven't listened to them, you can go back, and they're there for you to listen. It's only 10 minutes each element, so you know what they're about.
Yeah.
So what we do, what Rod was saying, is what we do, and I think probably every astrologer does. Maybe not every astrologer, but most astrologers do this at the first step when we need to approach a chart, is to look at the element balance. So the elements are like a way of interpreting reality. So what do you focus on when you look into reality? What do you focus on? How do you experiment with reality? How do you experience reality? And each element will experience reality in a different way. So what we do is to try to see the amount of each element in each chart, so we can try to guess how this person is going to experience life. Would you agree with this, Rod?
Yes.
Okay. So we have prepared 2 examples. So the first example, it's this chart. This is Cancer rising chart.
Yeah.
So here is the sign of Cancer. Remember, this is the horizon. So this is the sun of Cancer. It means that Cancer was rising on the east when this person was born. So Cancer is the rising sign, is the ascendant. That's what I wanted to say. Then we also have been talking a lot about the sun. Here's the sun.
Yeah.
The sun is in Aries in the 9th house. And then we've also been talking about the moon.
Yeah.
And here's the moon in Sagittarius in the 5th house. Well, we haven't done the houses yet, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically what we do, and some astrologers will do this in a different way. So yes, I don't know. You might encounter astrologers. There's not an agreement on how this should be done. My advice is to count the planets from the moon to Saturn. So that's moon, Mercury, Venus, the sun, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, and then the ascendant, which is this sign over here, and the midheaven, which is this MC flying over here, which is, it's one of the angles. It's the highest point a planet can get. So someday we will discuss what it means, but it's a very important point in the chart. So my advice is to go for these 9 objects or points. I don't know how to call them because the MC is not an object. So basically what we do is to look at which sign they are in. So let's start with the ascendant. We have ascendant here in Cancer. Cancer is a water sign. So I have here the 4 elements: water, earth, air, and fire. So I put ascendant in water. Look, I put it there.
Yeah.
Then we go on. Let's see what we run into. Okay, we run here into the moon.
Okay.
The moon is in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is a fire sign. So we go to fire. I put the moon. We keep going. This is the south node. We're not going to use it. This is Jupiter. Jupiter is in Sagittarius, 24 degrees of Sagittarius. So again, it's a fire sign, so I put it there also. Bam. The next one that I find is Chiron. Chiron, we're not going to use it for this, so we just skip it. We keep going. Blah, blah. Where's my... Okay, we keep going up, 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 up. We run into Neptune. Neptune, we're not going to use it. And then we run into the MC, which we said we are going to use. So the MC is in Pisces. This is a water sign. This is a symbol of Pisces. So it's a water sign. So we put MC in water. Then we have Mars at 26 degrees of Pisces. Mars in Pisces. So we go to water and I put Mars. Then we have Venus in Pisces. So Venus in Pisces, water. So I put Venus in water. Then we reach the sun. The sun is in Aries. It's 9 degrees of Aries. So I put it in fire. Aries is a fire sign. Remember we said in the podcast it's cardinal fire. So we put it here in fire. Mercury is also in Aries, 25 degrees of Aries. So we also put it here under the fire thing. Pluto is at 0 degrees of Taurus. We're not going to use Pluto. Uranus, we're not going to use Uranus because they're too slow. The reason why we don't use these planets, I should say this maybe, it's because they're very, very slow. So they are not characteristic of this person. They are characteristic of a whole generation of people.
Yes, indeed. Yes.
And what we want to know, what we want to do is to notice like individual differences. What makes this person unique? Yeah. So then Saturn here is in Taurus. We're going to count it. So it's Earth. So you put it here, Earth. And this one is the North Node. We're not counting that one. We went around the whole zodiac. We have our element count. So then we count. We basically count, right?
So in this case, we can see there is 1, 2, 3, 4 planets in fire sign, and there's a 1 planet in the earth sign, and there's 2 planets plus MC and Ascendant 2 angle on the water sign. So eventually there is interesting. This is a very interesting chart because there is no planet and the angle in the air sign, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Alejo, why is that symbol? I thought it was a hat, a wizard hat or something.
Which
the
hat?
air sign.
It's
a tornado.
It's supposed to be a tornado. Yeah. How do you draw the air? Come on. I need to find a symbol for the air.
I know. That's why I would like keep watching when you counted. I was enjoying like what that look like?
Yeah, I was thinking of putting a cloud, but a cloud is water, so like it's gonna get confusing.
I just want to have a joke because so okay, so interesting. People may ask, he has like 4 planets. Let's say that totally 4 planets in fire sign. Some beginner usually will say, oh, wow, he have a strong fire. Would you say that?
I mean, I would say he has a strong combination of fire and water, not just a strong fire.
Yeah, and it is very interesting, this kind of when we have like more than I think a lot of planet in one element, doesn't mean they are a strong, or some people say is that overtone or too much. In my point of view, I would never see it as a weakness or overtone. I would say he's born that way. He's good with a fire element. He's a familiar with the fire element. So about the action, about the passion, about like a kind of intuitive. He doesn't need people telling what to do. He would like, bing, I want to do this, I want to do that. He also has a kind of a water side. These 2 elements is quite interesting because they all about feeling and emotion and kind of
they're very subjective. They're like the less realistic, right? The earth and the air are more objective.
Yes. So what would we do? Should we go to that kind of imbalance, because very clearly there's an imbalance here. There's no air sign. So how we read the chart when we meet someone who has no planet or angle in one particular element. Very basic things.
Yes, like you were saying before, probably they strive in the fire element because there's a lot of connection with that fire. Now the air element, it's something that is not so familiar to them. So all that has to do with rationality, objectivity, the social world, which is all about the air element. Maybe something a bit uncomfortable for them. And the reaction could be like, this is not important in life. Like, I don't care about this. This is not important. Or they could, sometimes it happens that they feel this lack and they want to work through it. They want to become best in that element.
It is very interesting. There is not only one way to express this imbalance. For example, if you don't have any planet in one element, it's not a weakness neither. It's just it's just like showing you are unfamiliar with that area of that element. Interestingly, yes, that would be kind of a somehow it would like urge you to understand that things or try to get in touch with it.
Yes, there are many writers, I think, that don't have a lot of air.
Yes.
And you would think that people who work with words, they will probably have objectivity, rationality, the capacity to take a distance. And I don't remember now, but I remember seeing a lot of charts of writers who don't have a lot of air.
Yeah. What I've realized is, like we say, sometimes I don't know is that correct word or not, but kind of a compensation. So they're trying to get in touch, either to work with it, with for example, this person, if he really aware about the unfamiliar of air element, about education, about communication, then he will try to work with it, or maybe have like a surrounding by people who has lot of air element in their chart. So interestingly, why I say this technique is a simple and a kind of stunning is if you check your chart and if you see there's no planet, basically no, zero. So when you count from Moon to Saturn at the Ascendant and MC, when you have no planet in particular element, somehow it's kind of urge you or you will see your career are related to that element, or your partner or your best friend around you have very strong that element. So it is quite interesting. But how about the only one?
Yeah, but can I add something? Because Jung said that the psyche wants to be balanced. One of the principles in Jungian psychology is the principle of balance. Jung, if I remember correctly, he had Jupiter in Libra. So all of his ideals are about balance all the time and about duality, you know. His whole thought is based on that. And so basically what he's saying is if you lack one of these functions, your psyche will try to compensate, to find the balance. So it's like what you were saying, either by doing it, so your career or something will be driven to develop it, or in order to find the balance, if you really don't feel identified with that, you put it in the shadow, you put it in the unconscious, so you don't express it, but you get together with people who express it. So you're unconsciously expressing it yourself, because in Jungian psychology, the people you meet are yourself, basically projected out there, right?
Exactly, yes. Yeah, so about if there is only one planet in one element, some astrologers see it as a very particular way. So they call it single tone.
Single tone,
Yeah, they call it single tone. So if you use this same method and then you find that there's only one planet in one element, and astrology, we call it the single tone, which is they act differently, as I understand.
What would you say of this one? This is Saturn.
Okay, yes, Saturn. So he will show, okay, when you, that's how I explain to my student. So it's like I don't want to sound this terrible, but it's like if you in amount of the world, there's only one thing you have, and that thing is only one for you. You will hold it as a precious, and you will say, "Look, everyone, I have Saturn." So I explain. I don't want to say it is a weakness, but I think singleton as something you want to display to other people. You want to let whole world know I have one Saturn in the Earth sign. I have one Earth element, so it stands out. Doesn't mean strong or weakness. It stands out. It becomes one of your character. That's how I read it. How about you?
I would agree in some cases. I think, especially maybe with Saturn, because it's such a difficult planet. I don't know if it's going to stand out so much. You know, I feel like my idea is when you have a singleton is that that's your only access to that element.
Yes.
So if you're aware of that, it's going to happen what you say, like it's going to stand out. But maybe the person is not aware of that, so it's going to deny completely the characteristics of that planet. And I think that when you meet them in the consultation, that's your key. Like, for instance, if this person came to my consultation and they told me that they struggle with the earth, so basically they struggle with following routines or taking care of the body, or making sure that they have money to pay their rent, I would say, okay, we need to work on the only planet that he has, which is Saturn, because this is his access to do that.
Yes, exactly.
So I would talk to him about his like authority figures in his past, how discipline was applied for him in his past when he was a child, and all of that to see what happened.
Basically, I like to say is when we see there is no planet in one particular element, or there's only one planet in one element, don't say it is not good. Don't say it is a weakness. It only acts in different way. It only give you access in different way. Rather than you have more than two planets in one element, you can gain access easily in everyday's life, easily in different with that planet. But if you only one planet in that element, you have to go through that one planet. And if you have no planet in that element, you probably need to, get that element, understand the element through like a learning, with get contact with other people, or with career, with things you do. Yeah. So should we go next example?
Should we tell who this is?
Oh yes, please. Sorry. This is a Mr. Hey.
So this is Van Gogh. He was obviously very intuitive and very passionate and very in his own subjective world.
Yes.
And probably detachment and objectivity and being more rational was not the easiest. Was not his easiest skill.
Communication with other people sounds like a kind of a quite particular way. Let me say that.
Exactly.
Yes,
but he was very good, like you were saying. He was very good at expressing his vision, expressing the way he was living life, right?
Yes.
Great.
Okay.
Let's go to the next one.
Sure. Okay. I think I chose this chart, right?
Yes, you chose this chart.
I chose this chart. So, okay, it's my turn to go through it then. So, like with what Alejo teaches, so let's go through first from the ascendant, always on the left-hand side. So we get ascendant is in 21 degree Gemini. So we put it's air sign. So we put in air sign, the tornado sign. Okay, and then we go through in the first house. I know in the first house we have Jupiter also in the air sign. So we put Jupiter sign in the air too. And then we go following, next one is Mars in Leo. So Leo is a fire sign. So we draw Mars symbol in the fire sign. And then we got a moon also in Leo. And then Saturn also in Leo. So it's a 3 planet in Leo. And then we go through it. There's North Node, we don't use it, and Pluto, we don't use it, as Alejo told you. These three outer planet plus Chiron, they are kind of a slow-moving planet, and they are more collective rather than individual. So we don't use them when we use it to do the personality analyze. So we can jump Pluto and then Uranus and then Neptune. Wow, that was quick. Here we come to the Mercury. Mercury is in Capricorn. Capricorn is the Earth sign. And then we move on. Sun and the Venus, they are both in Aquarius. And also we have MC in Aquarius. So they are air signs. So we draw the Sun, Venus, and MC in the air sign. And we move on. Oh, sorry. Yeah, we move on. Then we have South Node. We don't use it. Moon Node is very interesting. Some astrologers really care about the Moon Node. Basically, they are two marking place on the zodiac, like MC, like Ascendant. So, but we don't count it as a personality portrait. So then we see the Chiron again is a slow-moving planet. We don't use it to describe the individual personality thing. So we ignore that one. When we do that, then we finish whole chart. Now we look at our chart for this person, and he has 3 planets in fire sign, no planet in the water sign, and how many? A whole lot.
5.
1, 2, 5 air sign, and 1 Mercury in the Earth sign. Which it is interesting. So we can say this person, he is very familiar with air element, with communication.
It's very different to Van Gogh.
Yeah, it is. Yes, it is. They can team up. Yes. He can give Van Gogh like good advice. Don't cut your ear.
Exactly.
Okay, so but this person, he is very familiar, which for him, the communication, to express what he think, or to education, is his kind of a very well, I don't want to say very easy. Okay, it's what he's familiar with. I shouldn't say easy or not, but what he's familiar with in his life. Then with a fire sign, action, passion, the same.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the material, with money, with food, with body, with the daily routine, well, here come to a little bit, not so 100% easy, but he get access through Mercury. So we can go through Mercury symbol. We haven't learned Mercury yet, but we know it's communication too. Talking, right. Speaking, or brother or neighborhood, brother, sister, people around you. So maybe those people, or through the talking and the communication, he learned to be grounded, to hold itself in the
yeah, he probably, with so many air, he probably is very eloquent and he has all these social skills, like you were saying. Yeah. But with Mercury on Earth, maybe he learns to kind of ground what he's saying and to be responsible for what he's saying,
Yes.
Like something like bringing it, because the one thing that I think fire and air have in common, fire and air, is that they're very active. So there's this kind of vision that comes out to life, and he probably expresses that. And
because these 2 elements we also call it like a positive or young side, like a male, female, day and night. So it's a day side, it's a positive side. It doesn't mean good, but it means, young, or if you use yin and yang's idea, it's more young side, more active side.
Yeah.
Then when we see his earth element and water element, okay, interesting bit. This person don't have water element. So for him, feeling and emotion or MC could be unfamiliar area. So when it get in touch with a feeling, he maybe need to learn. Some people say somehow this is like a tap, difficult to tidy it up, also have difficult to open it. So you always try to adjust what is the best way to express his feeling. Yeah.
Nice image, yes.
Yeah. But also
because sometimes people who don't have so many planets in the water signs, because they're not used to what you were saying, like the emotional realm is a mysterious realm, and emotions are not, you can't control emotions. So when they come up, for people who don't have any water, sometimes they will feel like they are very, they don't of course they have feelings, they're human beings. I'm not saying they're not feeling, but it's not something that they maybe they're not so aware of their emotions or that kinds of things, and then when suddenly they are aware, it's explosion. It's an explosion of emotion.
Yeah, you just mentioned very important point when we do the element balance. Some beginner will say, "Oh, I don't have a water element, so I feel nothing." No, we don't say that. Like or someone who don't have earth element doesn't mean he's not practical. Someone who don't have fire element doesn't mean he has no passion, or he's like a dead fish. or someone who don't have air element doesn't mean he refused to communicate. Or he's an idiot who couldn't sing.
Yeah, exactly.
I know some people were talking that way, but that is not true. We all have 4 elements. You want to exaggerate, that's fine. But people without any planet in water element, they still have feeling. It's just like in their lifetime, they may be take a little bit longer time than other people to learn how to express that feeling. Or even they are very curious about what is feeling.
Yes. Yeah, and I had a client, I remember, who did not have any planets in water, and I was telling him about this. And actually he studied like emotional, how do you call it? Like emotional education or emotional communication, something like that. And it was all about learning what you feel and learning how to express it. And it was and he had no water. He was like super sensitive.
That exactly, because that's fit into the way we say, when you're aware that, you try to understand, you try to learn, you try to study it. Somehow it could be your profession. It's true. It's true. I remember some astrologer, I don't 100% agree with it, but they just say this could have like an impact in your daily life and eventually could be your career. So it is interesting. I see quite a few examples, like you say, people who lack of one particular element and that they choose the career which are embody or kind of include the quality of that element. So before we go next thing, should we reveal about who he is?
We should. And I've just realized that there's a disclaimer underneath that says the name.
Okay. Okay, yes. Zelensky is a Ukraine president. Okay. I think it's not only he's a very good communicator, to be honest, during this situation. He spray his information to kind of become let everyone know he's not only, to be honest, he's not only the leader of Ukraine now. I think he has the symbol of the freedom against,
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting, and that with water sign, there's no water sign in his chart. There's no planet in water sign in his chart. But you can see how powerful emotion he can move to everybody.
Yeah,
it is true. Very interesting. It is.
But I guess that's also something of the fire, right? That it's very inspiring and very.
Oh yes. Yes.
Warm. Yeah.
Yes. Another thing we haven't talked about today is not our today's major topic, but is the modality. If you check his chart, he has a whole lot of fixed sign.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So last time when I was invited to Alejo's another program with Fernanda, the what's that program's name?
Out of Bounds Astrology podcast. Yeah.
Yeah, that is very interesting podcast. A little bit more advanced level or intermediate level. Yeah, but and then we talk about Zelensky's chart. I say, have you looked those fixed sign planet in his chart? That suggests he's not going to move. I'm here. I'm stay with my family. I'm stay with my people, and that things touch everyone. So that's why I choose his chart. I'm his fans now. I'm his.
Yeah, you're in love with him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why know not? You are. Yes.
I know. Yeah.
Okay.
So, to be honest, it's quite interesting. So, that's today's program. I want to say, because I'm so interested in these element things. So let me summarize a little bit. So when we do the element balance, if you have more than two planets in one element, that means you get a normal access to this element. And then you can exercise it very well. If you wonder how to use it, focus on this planet, you can get in touch with this element. But it would be more interesting if people were curious about if you have no planet in one element, then if you're aware about that, or if your client has that situation, maybe you are prepared to talk that element with him or her. Say, how does this, maybe suppose like Zelensky has no water in his chart, then you would probably prepare to discuss about emotion and the feeling, how he learned to express, and maybe his career or people around him have all big part of that water element.
Yeah.
And if you have one single tone, that's being only one planet in one element, then you are kind of you still going to learn. But for me, it's like you hold it as a treasure,
right?
But that's the only access, right? As Alejo says.
Yeah.
Yes, only access to that element. So, well,
nice.
I think, yeah. So this is today's Astro NIght Live. We really hope you like today's program because, I mean, this is the extended version of our 10 minutes astrology, and it's trying to help the beginner to understand how we work with astrology, and not really just to go with like a TV side of astrology or only talk about sun side. We try to step by step try to understand the whole chart.
Yeah, and I would say like you should. The only way to learn this is to practice. So get your chart. We showed you on the last one how to calculate your chart. So get your chart. Do your element balance. Start bothering all of your family, your friends. Do the element balance of everybody you know. Or you can look for the charts of famous people that you like, or the biographies that of historical people that you may be interested in their lives, and test this element balance, because it's the only way to learn. I think it's not something intellectual. You need to engage with it.
Yeah. Well, there's a few ways. Like if you do the calculation, you have a question, then you can leave on the comment below, on the comment area. Let us know. We'll do our best to help you. Or you can join our Facebook group, 10 Minutes Astrology Facebook group. And then tell us when you have problem to do a calculation, or you don't know what does that mean if you have one planet in fire sign. What does that mean? You need our help. We are very happy to, to give you word to help you to join our group on the Facebook 10 Minutes Astrology. And also you can find me on my Instagram, AOAUKROD, and find Alejo on his Instagram, Let Me Know Cosmos.
Yes.
Yeah. And so, well, next Friday, is not Astro Night Live. Next Friday is a special program for me and Christian. We're talking about the fixed stars. And then also don't forget about every Wednesday, we will release new episode of 10 Minutes Astrology. But if you really like this Astro Night Live, we will come back at the 15th of April. I think that will be the Good Friday in UK.
Yes.
It's
We're
the Friday.
Have to do it.
The Friday before Easter.
Yes.
Yeah, so we will have another episode of Astro Night Live. So if you really have a question, leave in the comment area. We maybe can answer your question in next Astro Night Live. Okay? Well, so see you next month. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.